of applause for Andy, please.
I might sit down actually so I can... Oh, I'm actually shitting myself because I've probably spoken to 5,000 people on the street in the last few years, but I've never spoken to a group of activists before, so I'm really nervous. And I actually had to have a coffee. So, fuck knows what's going to come out of my mouth. So, brought Muffin, because he couldn't make it today. So he's going to sit here. Alright. What was that? That's, yes. Didn't feel a thing though. Yeah. Plants feel so much more pain. Hello, my name is Andy. I was going to do bullet points, but because I was shitting myself, I just scripted it because I thought, I'll make it up a little bit. Alright, my name is Andy. I'm an addict, addicted to exposing commercial animal abuse and murder of animals. When the Cube started at 1:30 PM last Saturday, I was first to hold a TV. I stood facing the Microsoft windows. Ben Johnston had driven down from Newcastle for around the 120th time this year. Ben Johnston is also an addict. He was behind me. He stood facing the dress shop as he held a TV. The TV facing north was on the ground. The TV facing south was on the ground. 5 other addicts were there to outreach. We have approximately 600,000 vegans in Australia, equating to roughly 150,000 vegans in Sydney. Yet we still have a situation where we reduce the animal suffering to be placed on the Pitt Street Mall pavement. While I stood there for 40 minutes, I must have seen approximately 50 people stop to watch for a few seconds and then walk off without a vegan present to speak to them of the animal's hell. Everyone in this, or most people in this room, has probably experienced this feeling at some point. And it is excruciating to be holding a TV, see people stop to watch, and then see them walk off without an outreacher. Missed opportunities to save animals from murder, from being shoved into a gas chamber, dropped into a macerator, bolted in the skull, beheaded, suffocated, drowned, or stabbed to death. And then there are those who stroll past without stopping, but who stare at us like we are batshit crazy weirdos. There was the Prizzy ladies all dressed up for their day out shopping. She deliberately walked past, tapping her temple to her friend, gesturing these people are whack jobs. It's guaranteed she pays for animals to be stabbed to death 3 times a day. A man walks past and covers up his wife's eyes from seeing the TVs. It's guaranteed they both pay for animals to be tortured to death 3 times a day. A family walks past, the mother says to the little girl, ignore these people. She looks at us like we're aliens, and the little girl can't stop staring at us. We know that it's a guarantee her parents pay for animals to be tortured to death 3 times a day. So you're there, mask on, standing silently, and you feel defeated that powerful commercial animal abusers are winning today, and you're in despair. Many addicts in this room have been through it. You want to wreck the most morally abhorrent disgrace that has ever taken place on this earth. For me, what feelings come up? The deeply rooted evil fucks that own and manage slaughterhouses. All those sickos who know the deal, who are aware of the shit being swallowed by the Prizzy ladies out shopping for the day, the cancer being fed to the kids with the disconnected parents, and they are literally swallowing shit, the same shit we all swallowed before them. 20 minutes pass of holding that TV of the animal's hell, and then I see fellow addict Howell. People have stopped, and he's outreaching. Superman has arrived. He's arrived for his 150th appearance in 3 years. Yes, he was there from the beginning outside event cinemas throughout 2016. My mood lifts, there is hope. Then Superwoman Kate arrives for her 40th Saturday in a row. Fiona arrives. These activists are straight into outreach as they work on preventing war crimes and murders being committed on animals. Some more of the team arrive and all are outreaching. The feeling of despair has now lifted and hope takes over. While in the queue, I've thought about the bobby calves I've met at Queensland and Newcastle sale yards in January. I thought of the pigs I've met at a piggery shut down in Queensland back in April. I thought of all the variety of four-legged animals I met inside a slaughterhouse last November. And I thought of the hens we had to leave behind during several rescues after entering hell. I thought about every chicken, turkey, cow, calf and lamb we met on a death truck outside a slaughterhouse. And you stand there and you hold that TV of animals suffering inside hell and you stand for them. We stand for every single one that my dollar once butchered to death. For every single pig who went through hell for my taste of pleasure. For every single calf that was stolen off their mum so I could breastfeed as a grown man. For every single calf who copped a knife in the throat so I could say yummo, rice bubbles swimming in cow boob juice. We could all say it's a lovely sunny day, I'll go for a swim at Bondi Beach, but we don't. Animals first, us second. It's called perspective. And we... Thanks. Then we come out of the queue with emotions that have gone to extreme lows of rock bottom, to extreme highs of euphoria that comes with hope. The next 3.5 hours, troops poured in, and the arrival of every single addict came a greater injection of hope. The next 3.5 hours outreaching was complete and utter bliss. Standing inside the queue for the first 40 minutes of the day and tapping into just an ounce of the unthinkable mountain of animal suffering and bringing that emotion to the table is the absolute key. As soon as a bystander gives me an emotional response, I latch onto it, connect and relate to the person, and sell the animal suffering with everything I have. Purely from the heart. And the more often you do it, the easier it becomes. Here's an example. But firstly, let's take something else into account. Page 106 of Claire Mann's book, Visitopia. Welcome, Claire. It's titled Become an Exquisite Communicator. Just going to read a quick few lines. Communicating veganism can be challenging because people think you are directly criticising their lifestyle and choices, and they resist that more than the reality of where their food, clothes, cosmetics and other consumer goods come from. Thus, you must learn tools and techniques that enable you to have difficult conversations easily. Alright, so taking that into account. So here is my approach with bystanders who stop at a cube of truth. I'll state, straight off, we are similar. We are both against animal suffering. The killing of animals is not who you and I are. This is who we are. And I'll show them the flyer. That is not who you are on that screen. That is not who I am or who you are. This is who you are. And you hand them the flyer and empower them. This is spoken with conviction, looking into their eyes and meaning it. Can you see the animals begging for our mercy? Do you know how to offer them mercy? Most will say no. The answer is vegan. Introduce them to vegan cheese, vegan chocolates, vegan milks, ice creams, meats and restaurants. Blame industry hard. Unleash on industry. Let them know. No doubt you and I were raised the same. As children we were both told to eat our meat for protein and drink our milk for strong bones. Yeah? They'll agree. So you instantly relate to them. And let them know, look, you and I, we just did what we were told. We were told this since infancy. parents told us, their parents told them. Do you feel these industries care more about your money or your health? Okay? They'll always say they care about our money. That's instantly waking them up. Okay? Instantly opening their eyes to what's going on. And they're latching onto this. Do you feel they deserve our hard-earned money to do this? Point to the TVs. To a defenceless, frightened animal. They'll say no. We can hand them that flyer and empower them. We seem to have exactly the same belief system in place, that we're both entirely against animal suffering and killing. I'll always tell them that. You care about animals just as much as I do. They love to hear that. Build them up. You see, this is what these powerful industries do. They say, give us your money. You must eat and drink this way. And nice things are happening to animals. Does it look nice to you? They take money off good people and they perform an action with our money which is entirely the opposite of who we truly are. They confine, enslave and murder babies and mothers. Each day your actions are vegan. This lines up with your vegan heart. They're aligned. And show them the train tracks. They are aligned. We then wipe our hands of any blood and wipe your hands. And say we're not responsible for any of their hell. This is a beautiful feeling. Can I offer you some support with a free 22-day vegan challenge? Okay, and I most often take that. What you're watching on the screens is the RSPCA approved way. This is all entirely legal. In the hundreds of hours of brutal footage we have, no arrests were made against anybody for animal abuse. Animal care or welfare cannot exist when we're talking about murdering someone, taking their life against their will. Animals are having the number one thing taken off them their entire lives. Blaming industry will see the bystander connect with you. You will build rapport with them. Some will cry and hug you. You'll often go through an entire Saturday's queue without an objection. Objections such as, plants feel pain, I'm an omnivore, but animals eat other animals, and my old favourite, my uncle has a farm in India, where the cows are sacred, so I buy cow's milk from Woolies at Granville. These things you usually won't have to deal with. Blaming industry hard does not mean exonerating the bystander of their responsibility. You're empowering them. You're giving them tools they need to go vegan. You're motivating them. You're inspiring them to look inside their hearts. You're opening their eyes to one atrocity after the other, scoring a flurry of points as the minutes tick by. Thanks to you, they fuck off eggs. 10 points. All right, towards the 100. Thanks to you, they fuck off breastfeeding from a cow. 20 points towards the 100. And thanks to you, they're going to watch Dominion tonight, another 20 points. Total 40 points. And for that 10 minutes, you're Michael Jordan. It's euphoria. There is no greater day. Yes, we are addicts. After giving the bystander a list of homework, such as YouTube, Dominion, your TV for the next month is the 90 videos on savepoppy.com. And you're starting this vegan22.com challenge right now. The final thing I'll say to this person is follow your heart, it will lead you there. Okay, in the last few weeks I've recently discovered a major hook statement I'd like to share. Most of this footage is from a movie called Dominion. It's free on YouTube. 5 years of undercover cameras showing people where their money is being spent. Industry does not want you, the consumer, to know this stuff. Bang, they'll be hooked into the conversation and ask for the flyer. People hate being lied to. Then it's time to drop a flurry of 3-point bombs. On the way to 100. Thank you to every addict in this room who recognises the urgency for activism as the moral baseline. To every person in this room who doesn't turn their back on the animals, who don't ignore mother pigs locked inside a steel tomb. To every person in this room who doesn't ignore them because it's just easier. And and speak about... Oh, okay. Thursday night, I couldn't work. I couldn't come to the Cube. I had to go and work. So, quick story. I picked up all the Cube gear to load into the van at Wynyard Park, and I was absolutely blown away. The dozen or 15 Cubers that were giving me all the gear were flying high off their heads with feel good. And there was Emma Cung carrying the battery, just running across the road, literally, protein deficient. And I'm just standing there admiring the scene, just going, look at these people off their heads with feel good. They are just, this is amazing. And no one wanted to leave. We dispersed stickers among each other, and we just look at each other, and not much was being said for a minute. And everyone's just soaking it up, just couldn't leave like we're at a rave. It's just crazy. This is the greatest feeling of all time. And most of you here can resonate with it. It is incredible. And this is the way to deal with this animal holocaust. Brutal enslavement and murder of animals. Feels incredible. Keep coming. Keep turning up. Okay. Feed the addiction. Don't resist. Embrace it. If you can, attend a shutdown in 2019. Fly interstate to attend a slaughterhouse shutdown or an animal rescue at a commercial animal abuser facility, also known as hell. When you sit inside hell for hours, it gives you perspective and drive you never thought you could reach. Everything changes. Ask around. Look closely at these actions and see who went. Friend them on Facebook. Friend the organisers. Get the app Signal on your phone and use Signal to communicate with them. Be careful who you say anything to. The animals cannot have secret information in the hands of the wrong person. Communicate via Signal. I really encourage everyone to get involved in this sort of thing. Dinesh spoke about it earlier. Yes, Dylan?
Could you just outline why it's important to communicate via Signal with people that don't really know?
Is it?
We might do that in Q&A.
All right, Q&A. All right. Let's break the law together. Let's see this system that is designed to jail and murder animals exposed for what it is, corrupt to the core. So now that we understand that, let's see them lock up 100 of us, addicts, who walk into an animal's hellhole and chain ourselves to that farm or slaughterhouse. And when the news cameras show up, and this is huge news story on Channel 7. Let's see what the RSPCA and the police do when the animal's hell is brought to light. You really think the system will convict 100 of us to 10 years in jail for exposing animal cruelty and or rescuing dying animals? You really think the slave master farmers and slaughterhouse owners will want this media circus and shocking exposure of the animal's hell? Could you imagine how bad they're going to look if they're putting grandmothers and preschool directors into prison for rescuing dying animals or preventing an animal murder facility from murdering for one day? No way. Charges will be delayed for years, if not dropped. The truth seeping out in the media is their greatest fear. This is a major weapon we have to our advantage against this powerful, evil opponent. Fact. I want everybody in this room to go away today and think long and hard about perspective, to put ourselves in the animal's position. If that were me inside there, I would want a lot of vegans to break in, to break the laws that see me locked inside a steel coffin, to try to free me from hell, to be cuffed for a couple of hours, to attend court a couple of times, to do it again and again and again until I can feel the grass under my feet and the sun on my face. Any day you feel like fucking the industry some more, visit me and use Corfu signs and chalk at Hyde Park any day you want. Borrow my megaphone, announce facts inside a food court or a Woolworths. I'll come with you to assist. Non-vegans are living in a trance-like zombie state. Although thousands stop at the queue, many do not. And so they need shock therapy with the animals' hell taken to them in the form of a truth walker TVs on trains. And in suburban shopping areas full of zombies need to be woken with whatever form you want to apply it. Corfu signs, megaphones, truth walker TVs. A roll in my garage for you to borrow anytime. Just message me, let's get it done. I'll ride the train with you as we take a 32-inch TV to the crowds. Everything is necessary. The only fail is to turn our backs on the animals, to succumb to what's considered normal in society, and to remain quiet. Silence is not an option. To remain silent in the face of injustice is to remain complicit in the murder of animals. When there is a march on, let's all bombard Sydney Vegan Club to promote the 3 rallies or marches in 2019. Our aim, 1,000 minimum for rallies and marches next year. 1,000. Preach hard, take these flyers I've got in my bag today and hand them to everyone who work in customer service and engage in any form of conversation with you, from the guy you buy petrol off to the Coles checkout worker. Just be prepared to preach. The animals are depending on it. Embrace the preach. We've still got a couple of boxes of flyers in the garage at home from the 3rd edition of flyers we give out at the Cube, so we need to get rid of them. Perfect for all you guys. Alright. Bought some liquid chalk today. Did everyone know what liquid chalk is? Writing on vehicles, on windows. Alright, so I bought 32 today from Officeworks. So the first 32 people that see me is getting a free liquid chalk for the back of their car. Just chalk something meaningful to you that will be effective, something like YouTube Dominion with a website as well, perhaps AussieFarms.org is great. Sticker hard, come and see me. I've got a bag of 2,500 there. I want all of them gone today. Alright, courtesy of Alicia, so all yours. I don't want to take any home. Some extra statements and questions for outreach at Cube, Hyde Park Chalking, University Cupcake Challenge and Truth Walkers to ask, to use when outreaching. Question. I'll ask someone, were you aware it is legal to pick up a piglet by the legs and swing their heads into the cement to kill them with blunt force trauma? Are you disgusted your money is spent on this act of violence? How much of your hard-earned money do you feel they deserve from you to do this to a defenceless baby? I'll say $0. $0. Again, because it is not you and I, point to the screens, that is not us. This is who we are, fly, empowered. Were you aware it is legal to swing a sledgehammer into the skull of a male calf who is less than 1 day old? Are you disgusted your money is spent on this act of violence? How much of your hard-earned money do you feel they deserve to do this to a defenceless baby? I'll say $0. Because it is not you and I, point to the screens. This is who we are, fly. The words free range, cage-free, organic, grass-fed, sustainable, local, fresh, and humane slaughter are marketing magic tricks to bluff good people like you into giving them your hard-earned money. Would you and I give them our hard-earned money if they called it menstrual cycle cruel eggs, boys shot in the head mill, circular sword, 6-week-old deformed chicken, beheaded cow burger, gas-chambered pig. If a man was about to stab a baby calf in the throat inside that Microsoft window, with cubes beside Microsoft, inside that Microsoft window over there, would you and I give them $3 for that cow milk ice cream? Or would we choose the vegan ice cream instead? This isn't a trick question. It is this easy to choose life over death. To choose vegan instead of their death. Introduce the fire. Why do these animals deserve the death penalty? What crimes have they committed? Do animals deserve to be extended some decency? Now here's a statement question. Feel free to use this one. Imagine you walk into your death. A man is waiting for you with a very sharp knife. He's covered in blood. You try to escape, but there's no way out. You scream, but nobody hears you. Another man uses an electric prod to force you closer and closer to your killer. You have nothing to defend yourself. He grabs you, it enters. Warm liquid starts to leave your neck. Is this something you want to be responsible for 3 times a day? Alright, back to Claire's book. Let's look at the subject of sales. What do you need to be a great vegan salesperson? Mind shift change. You must believe in your ability to communicate and sell veganism. If you feel anxious and tongue-tied, your whole neurology will work against you. When you're discussing animal cruelty, for example, you will often feel anxious and in pain. When this discomfort or anger occurs, blood flows from your frontal cortex to the reptilian brain at the back of your head. This is the fight or flight red zone, where it's difficult to stay calm, confident and convincing. The same thing occurs for the listener, resulting in resistance and comments like, "Don't tell me anymore." The good news is that there's a contagion effect, and if you can keep calm and emphasise with the person struggling to receive this challenging information, you'll influence their blood to flow to the frontal cortex with the increased likelihood that they'll listen to you. Partner with non-vegans and talk to them as someone who has also been duped by society and industry to live in a non-vegan world. Learn to listen and position your responses relative to their needs. Gain rapport. Build a relationship based on trust so they don't shoot the messenger when they receive challenging information. Communicating veganism is like running a relay race. You tell somebody something, later they see a TV advert or something on social media, and one day the tipping point comes. The resistance reduces and they choose veganism, or as I prefer to say, they return to their vegan birthright. Some may never become vegan in their lifetime, but every conversation you all have contributes to a vegan world becoming the norm. Your job is to be a great salesperson so you don't let the team or the animals down. Thank you, Claire. Great influence on us all. Almost there. A few other random things to keep up the sleeve. A person says, "I only eat little meat," or "I'm already vegetarian." Outreach as per usual, and slip in this extra vital bit. How many is an acceptable number of animals to be brutally killed for you personally? Leading to the answer of 0. Flyer, empower with resources. Person says, "But what are you doing about people?" Bring it straight back to the animals with perspective, with the following response, and continue outreaching with the person as usual. If someone in Pitt Street Mall had a huge knife and was about to stab you to death, I'd most certainly intervene and defend you from being stabbed to death. I'd at least most certainly scream or call the police and help you out of this suffering. So, just a quick story before we wrap up. Claire's helped me a couple of weeks ago. I've gone to see Claire now and booked in for a few sessions, proudly. And she reminded me of something a couple of weeks ago. And Matt Roder, where's Matt? Yeah. In 2015, July, he put a post up to Sydney Vegan Club. A few of you have heard this story. Saying that he'd be setting up a table beside the town hall steps, and he put together some footage of animal slaughter, and he'd be showing the public, and he had a little sign that said, was it $1 to watch a 3-minute video?
Yeah.
Was that right? Yep. And Michael and I saw the post and we jumped on it straight away, and we'd already talked about this months earlier. We were excited about hitting the streets with some footage, and this really kicked us into action. And we jumped on it and turned up. And Claire showed up during her lunch break. And Claire reminded me of something I said to her that day, which I'd forgotten. Today has saved my life, I said to Claire, because prior to that day I'd been on a few different medications and for some pretty deep, dark depression, and wasn't coping with this non-vegan world. And it couldn't be more true. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Claire. And everyone else fighting for the animals in this room. You are unbelievable family. And love you all. So, thanks for listening. Remember, on stage here after the Q&A, we've got to give away a lot of stuff. So please come and take it off me. They're gifts for you guys. Flyers, liquid chalk and stickers. Animal enslavement and murder industries is made up entirely of lies to hide the blood on their hands. What do we have? We have the truth. So they're fucked. Perspective.